Hey, welcome back to SOS. I'm Staff Sergeant Badass. Woo! So, people always ask me, well, what could I wear in a nuclear, biological, or chemical attack? Well, this wouldn't work so good in chemical. But this is about what you would look like. Hang on a sec. Wait. Luke, I am your father. Hey, it kind of gets a seal. Just like that. Hang on.
Okay, here we go. Alright, I'm done playing around. Coffee. Oh yeah, that feels better. So, now I was digging through my shed and I was going through some old books. I found a book and I couldn't find it online anywhere. But it's part of, now I took a small college course into, it was like San Diego, California. They have a little college course for, and they throw out all sorts of particulate type stuff and things like that, gas masks, respirators, all that stuff. It's a pretty long course. It's funny. I thought the majority of the class was going to pass it, but only I don't know, a little bit more than half actually passed the course. And they didn't want just anybody having this because it's kind of, it connects into OSHA and all that other stuff. So you have to kind of know what you're doing. I took a lot of notes. And from my notes, I wrote down as much stuff as possible that I was learning along the way. And I'm going back and kind of reading through some of it since there's so many threats to the world at this moment. And it seems pretty scary. I mean, you got from the ideas of everyone saying like Revolutionary Wars and Civil Wars and all this stuff, man. I mean, there's a lot of people out there talking some pretty wild stuff. Alright. Now, what do you think they would use in small groups? Do you think they would use a nuke? They're not going to want to destroy the Earth completely, but in the event there is a nuke, I was wanting to cover things to know about nukes. Okay, so this is going to be kind of like that, and then also biological and chemical. Okay, I want to cover some things just to kind of give you. I'm going to be flipping through my notes, and I'm going to be reading back to you guys some stuff, and I've got some stuff I totally forgot about. Right, detection equipment, and also ways to detect things. And one more thing was it was ways to protect things, and then the other one was like cleaning, military style cleaning kits and things like that for cleaning yourself up. And I've got some numbers to throw at you for those, and I actually found a lot of this stuff on eBay under Militaria. Okay, keep that noted. I'm not giving you any links. You're going to have to look for yourself, because I had to do the same thing and I had to do my own research. But it's pretty fast. All you do is go to eBay and then type in the numbers that I give you, and you'll start coming up with stuff. Possibly then other websites might have this stuff, and if they've sold out, because some of the items I found, it only had like one item of it left and things like that. So I wish you luck if you find this stuff. So I ordered some stuff, you know. Don't worry, I didn't order the last one of a certain thing. There was only like one thing I really wanted out of there. That was the M8 detection. I'll get into this in a minute. I think it was M8. I don't want to be. Don't make me lie to you. I'll tell you in just a minute. So, like for nuclear, so there's these percentages that they use when it comes to a nuke, and there's 3 different types of nuke blast when, say, a nuclear warhead goes off. Okay, there's 3 different types. most military guys probably know some of this stuff already, because you're kind of taught just a little bit about it. It's in your studies. If you're Army or Marines, you get these studies, and I'm not going to get too far into it, but you're required to do so many. It helps you get promoted and stuff like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to get into details of that stuff, but we take these things and we have to answer questions. And if you take it seriously, you learn something. If you just cheat off somebody else, then you're not learning anything. So there you go. If somebody else does your homework for you. All right. So NBC. Let's see. Now, when it comes to nuclear, there's these percentages that they go off of. Residual nuclear radiation is 10% for some, and then initial nuclear radiation is 4%. Percentage, it's got more details into this stuff. The initial is not good, but it's not extremely bad. But now the blast and shock is at 50%. And in the blast, the thermal radiation is at 35%, which is no bueno. 35% of thermal is basically melting. Basically, you're just getting melted, right? You'll see like videos of like a bomb going off, and then you see like everyone just turns to bones and stuff like that. Kind of like what was it, Terminator 2 or something like that, where it showed the bomb go off and then sheesh, and then everybody just kind of melts. But that would be kind of like what 35% of thermal would be like. The electromagnetic pulse is at 1%. So an EMP, basically at 1%, you're talking some stalled out vehicles and things like that. Now you might, now if you're in an older vehicle, you might be able to pop that thing back to life. But 1%'s not too bad, but 1% ain't good. And you might still have a lot of equipment that still works, and you might still have your communications and things like that at that point if a nuke went off. Just throwing it out there. I'm going to have all the geniuses. Nancy Drew's going to show up and start answering all my questions. Well, I did some research, and you are wrong, sir. All right, here we go. Now, let's see. Burns. Like I said, the burns, that's from thermal radiation. I already covered that, but it's just in my notes here. Thermal radiation, once again, it will cook you, and initial radiation will cook you from the inside. Now you'll start having some major problems. You might be able to, if you take shelter, you might make it through thermal with maybe just minor burns. And then, okay, there's 3 different types. I'm not going to get into details of these. I'll just tell you bad to worse, because it does have a lot of details in this, in the notes. So, airburst is the worst, okay? Absolute worst, because it gets a better coverage. They want it to explode in the air, because if it explodes in the air, then basically you get blast. You get thermal hardcore thermal. You're talking swoosh, wiping out areas just fast, entire area, almost clearing half a state. Just ridiculous with blast. If you can get an air blast in there from a nuclear warhead, that blast, the thermal coming from that, if anything's there, it's all dead. It's just going to wipe out everything. The EMP is going to be worse. It's going to have a higher percentage for EMP. So chances of anything making it's going to be slim. You got about a 50-50 chance that some stuff is going to work. But yeah, air blast is the worst, and you don't go anywhere near it. If you can get away. You probably won't have a chance. A surface burst. All right. Now, a surface burst is where it just kind of hits the ground. Okay, it touches the ground and then goes off. Once again, you're going to have a lower percentage of everything. It's not going to be as bad, but it will be pretty bad, and it will affect the ground and soil, and you will get some particulates, debris. anyways, you'll get all that, but it just won't cover as much ground. Okay, not as bad as it would be in the air. The airburst does the effects of the ground and debris and particulates. It does all of it. Major damage. Subsurface blast is the third one. It's where it inserts into the ground. Basically, it just goes plowing into the deck, and when it plows into the deck, it's not going to be as bad, and it's actually considered. They actually classify those as safe within so many, within so much distance. They consider that safe, so it's not like it's going to wipe out a large area. You will get a big explosion and all other jazzy stuff, but keeping your distance from it, you'll have a better chance of survival. Don't go anywhere near the blast, basically. But they don't consider that to be as bad. So the third one, surface, so or subsurface when it goes into the ground. I'm not going to go into all the details. I know most of this stuff off the top of my head. Alright, nuclear decontamination. Now, decontamination, this is real simple for nuclear. A lot of people won't know. But what do you mean? It's that easy? So detergent, alright? Just detergent and water. You know, basically, you're taking a shower, okay? Cleaning yourself off the best you can. Scrub yourself real good. Get yourself, this is going to sound completely ridiculous to some people. They're going to be thinking you're supposed to do a lot more, but it's not really as much as you would think. But basically, scrubbing yourself, cleaning yourself up, and then put on some clean clothes if you've got any, and that's for that. Now, tactical, now out in the field. If you're near a blast, tactically out in the field, you're going to want to get the debris off of you quickly, the dust. Like I've said before, you've got your alpha and beta. Those, like dust, smaller dust and debris. Keep a respirator on, something to cover your mouth, just something to keep whatever particulates are floating in the air from getting into your lungs. That's what you want to do mainly. If you don't have, like I said before in my gas mask video, if you don't have a gas mask with you, you can use an N95, which is just it's just a thin layered particulates filter. If you've got a particulates filter, if you don't, then a bandana will, that's all you got. You know what I mean? If you've got a bandana, if you don't have any of that, t-shirt, clothes, some sort of a sock, whatever you got to wrap around your face so you can cover your mouth, okay? That's important. Keeping that stuff out. Protecting your eyes. If you don't have anything to protect your eyes, sunglasses, put some slits into a t-shirt, press it up against your face, keep anything from getting up in there and getting into your eyes. If you get stuff in your eyes, you're going to have to use a rinse, okay? It's going to be water. It's about all you can do is to rinse that stuff out. There's nothing else for that. Eye wash station, eye wash. If you've got like the eye wash, you know, something that just clean, fresh water to rinse your eyes out. That's about all you can do for your eyes. I'm just saying. I don't want to get too far into it. It's common sense. You'll figure it out. But now, tactically, in the field, you get stuff all over you. It's done. It's over with. You've got all this stuff all over you. You can finally shake it off. If you're in the field, in sticks or wherever, you can brush yourself off. Take your clothes, bang them up against a tree or something. Knock all the particulates and stuff off, keeping your face covered and eyes the whole time you're doing that stuff. But clearing that stuff off your clothes as fast as possible. That's the only way you can decontaminate in the field unless you have access to water and detergent. Okay, I think I covered that part. Alright. Biological. Protective measures. Stay healthy. Do's and don'ts. Alright, so if you know, alright, I'm going to give you signs of detection, okay? Detection of biological attacks in just a second, but if you know there's been a biological attack or chemical attack or whatever, biological is probably a list of just awful. Don't eat the food in the area, even if you kind of know it's safe. Steer clear of it until you get out of the area and eat safe food. That's one thing to keep in mind. Animals, like if a dog takes a liking to you and you're in a biological area, it's obviously don't pet the dog and leave the dog alone. Sometimes it can take like 24 hours for that to take effect. Sometimes it takes like 3 hours. It could take 3 to 24 hours before the effects of a biological attack actually starts to affect people. There's also hallucinants and things like that. A hallucinant attack, I'm serious, this actually exists. Basically, it would be from, I'll get into detections real quick so I don't throw you guys off too far. Alright, so like, enemy aircraft is flying over and they're spraying stuff. There you go. That could be biological. It also could be a type of like nerve agents and things like that. It could be a hallucinant. Okay, now you'll know if there's hallucinants in the area because within an hour or maybe 3, Billy sitting next to you is just going to start laughing. Okay, he's just going to start laughing. He might seem like an angry drunk, just sort of swinging at you and just going crazy, or he might just shoot himself. But those are your hallucinant type warfare. They do play that game. So I'm just saying, in the event of another war of some sort, if we have a war here or whatever, you're aware of this stuff. Now, if a plane flies over, or it's this explosive device that just kind of goes thud and doesn't really go boom, you'll know the difference. If it just emits dust or smoke, if it emits something weird and it doesn't really do an effective thing that kills anyone instantly, then that could be biological or chemical. Okay, there's not going to be a big show. It's not going to be a big massive explosion like on TV. It's just going to be a puff and then surprise, or it's going to just start emitting stuff like smoke. But the smoke's not really smoke. It's not going to look like a campfire. Let's just say that. Those are things to look for. Okay, I'm just trying to help you out. You might have other ideas. Another thing that was in the notes is insects. You might see a high amount of ticks, a high amount of mosquitoes, and other things. They're attracted to that stuff. It's what's in it that makes them attracted to it. It could be like the sweetness of it or whatever. Like I said, you'll start detecting a sweetness in the air. You'll start to smell something that smells strange or odd. But they detect that, and if you start detecting more bugs than normally and you're in a wartime scenario, you may have just ran up into something that's really bad. That means get away quickly. Go back the way you came. Another detection for you. Alright, I'm not going to get into different levels of MOP, mission-oriented protective, whatever. I'm not getting into all that stuff. Types of chemical agents. Nerve agents. Blister agents. Blood agents and choking agents. Blood agents will cut off oxygen, alright? It'll cut off oxygen and you'll just start to shut down. Choking agents, well, it does what it says it does, right? Let's see, blister agents. Now, blister agents will take 4 to 36 hours. I've got that in the notes. So, 4 to 36 hours for a blister agent, and let's see, delayed. It's exposure, like, alright, so if you get exposure to the skin, I'm going to give you a nerve agents. We already know what that. That's awful. That's awful. Alright, yeah, you'll just be like spitting stuff up, foam and weird stuff. It's just crazy. Alright, so a blister agent, let's see, 4 to 6 hours, and then exposure. It can get in your eyes and respiratory system. Make sure you protect your face with a blister agent. Gas mask will do the trick. You want to protect your eyes and your mouth once again. And there is a, let me see, here it is. The chemical detection, write this down if you can. M9 paper chemical detection. Okay, you can use this in different types of scenarios if it gets splashed on you or from the water and things like that. Now the cleaning kit for, once again, the blister agent is, I looked this up, alright, the M256A1 kit. Okay, just look it up. This one's, see, remote sensing chemical. This one's another one. This one's an automatic alarm. If you can find one of these, this would be cool. M21, look that up. It's going to be in military surplus or militaria on eBay. I'll write some of these down in the drop down box so you guys have this stuff, so you can, that way in case you missed it. Alright, I'm not going to give you links, so calm down. Alright, protective measures, once again, cover your face and stuff like that. But if you use the M256A1, that's really long, kit, you can use that on a blister agent, clean yourself up, and yada yada yada. That's just one way of cleaning yourself up. M8 paper is a detector. I already kind of covered that, but that's for, you'd have to get splashed with it, so it's kind of a late warning. So you've already been hit with it, but you might get the mist or something like that from a type of device. Avoid if you're going to drink water, get a mask that has a drinking tube. Mine, this one here, has a drinking tube right here on the side. I can connect up to my canteen. I wish I had my canteen in here right now. I'd show you that stuff. Let's see. Alright. The M291 detection kit, once again. The M258A1 decontaminating kit. Boy, there's just so many of them, I tell you. There's also field remedies. Let's see. Baking soda, you can use that. A mild abrasive for your teeth. Say it like a toothbrush and some baking soda to clean your mouth out and stuff like that. If it gets in your mouth, whatever. If it's in there, you want to get it out, and baking soda would be the trick. Topical bleach to clean off anything that's on your skin. It's gonna suck, but you're probably gonna cough a lot, but you might clear a lot of that stuff up. Soda lie. Solvents. One second. I'm trying to. There's so much crap on this thing that I'm trying to breeze through it. So basically, if you get an NBC book, it's going to come with a section there for alternatives. All right, a lot of different stuff, and it's too much for me to be able to read off to you guys. But in a scenario like that, if you look up, just look up that and then print that off if you can find it. But I'm going to try and find a link to this stuff, and I'm going to try and put it in the description. If I can't, I'm sorry. But this is different. This is alternative uses, and I just now saw this and I thought it was pretty epic, and I'll probably add that in there. Already covered psycho agents, nerve agents, and all that stuff, and it's pretty freaking ridiculous. That's pretty much it. That's all I've got in my notes on it. Anyways, so I hope this is enough information to kind of help you guys out today. This was stuff that I was breezing through when I was going through my shed, and I found a lot of other cool stuff that would be cool to kind of bring to the show. This is just eye-opening for you, something else for you to think about, a little bit more information, maybe not, maybe I didn't help you. Well, I tried, okay? But if you look up NBC books, there's so many of them, and I can't sit and buy all of them, and I can't give you a link to every one of them because there's just so many of them. But they're going to have the same information. A lot of them are going to have the same information. They're going to give you alternatives, different types of uses and stuff like that, like the baking soda in the mouth ordeal, the bleach on the skin, the soda and all this other stuff, and blah blah. there's a lot of different types of alternatives you can use. So you can be the MacGyver during end times, okay? When you get hit with something and you're like, quick, grab that soda can, you know what I mean? Get me some bleach, a toothbrush, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. It's good to know a lot of this stuff because it could save your life, your friend's life, your family member's life. But I can't sit and read off every one of them because there's like, I've got like 6 pages of crap on just alternatives, and I'll have to give you, I'll see if I can pull up a link to the same kind of stuff that I've got here and put it in there. If I can't, I'm sorry. Like I said, I apologize. Coffee? Sorry. Anyways, you're watching SOS. I'm Star Badass. Try to have a beautiful, fantastic Saturday, alright? Take it easy.